Hello everybody, and today we're going to work on some kitchen cabinets as probably one of the biggest and hardest things to do in Revit. It's not really hard, but one of the harder things that we'll be doing. So my kitchen, as we can see from over here, I have a refrigerator, stove, and sink located over here, and I may change the layout a little bit, but let's see how it works. So what we're going to need to do is, you can do this a couple of ways. You can do your cabinets, then put in things like your refrigerator and stove, or you can put in the refrigerator and stove first. It really doesn't make much of a difference to me. Notice though that I did change my layout a little bit. I had this sliding door here that I moved down and put a window here. So I want my sink to be there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my base cabinets and put them in and then try to make everything else fit along the way. So to find base cabinets, we go into place component and load family. And once we get in there, cabinets are in casework. So I'm going to casework, base cabinets. So here you can see all the different base cabinets we have. I'm going to look for a base cabinet, right? And this one's got double drawers here for under a sink. So this is the type of unit that I'm going to pick. All right, like that. We also have base corner ones. So I'm going to pick both of these. I'm actually going to bring a bunch of these into the thing. Okay, so that's built in. We don't need that. But I'm going to bring in all of these different cabinets. Actually, I don't need that one right there, just so I have them. And I'm also going to bring in the filler that's going to be needed too. All right, so I'm going to hit open. So now I have all my cabinets. So first one let's do is I'm going to do the one in the corner. So I have it, and hit the space bar. That can rotate it around. And I'm going to bring it in. Okay, click there. So that's in the corner. Escape. And then we're going to go put in the more components. Let's get my one for under the sink. So we have a cabinet, double door. I don't know what size I'm exactly going to need. I'm going to go with 36 inches for now. Okay, and that's going to go directly into my sink. So I can go with a bigger one. So let's go even bigger. Let's go something like 48. There we go. So I'm going to put that in, and notice that the arrows are there, so the doors are out like that. Escape. And so I have a little bit of space. What I like to do is when I click on the object, right, I can see where everything is, but if I also click on it, I can go to align. So I'm going to go to align, and I'm going to pick the thing I want to align the cabinet with, like that, lock it. So you want to pick the thing first that's stationary, so my wall. So let's go over here. There's the wall. And then I zoom in on the cabinet, click that, lock. So that's locked into place. Click the edge of this, edge of that, lock it. So this is just keeping everything in as one piece. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a smaller cabinet right here. Okay, so I hit escape. And now let's go into architecture, back into component. So that's a base cabinet. I'm going to do maybe something, there's two drawer. These are my under sink ones, so I might have to change it. Let's click and see what this one is. Whoops. So that's two door and two drawer. This should be double door, two drawer. That's not going to work for under the sink, so I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to go back in. I need the one for under the sink. Here we go. So let's go with the 45. Click. Same thing as before. Go back to the align tool. So click on the object, align. Now you're going to pick any number of cabinets that you want. Depends on what your layout is. I don't know it. Locking things into position. Architecture component. Let's see, we got a couple of corner, that's it. This is base cabinet, 4 drawers. I'm just going to do 15 inches over here. Like that. Cancel. All right, and we click on it and we see that's where everything is. It looks like it's relatively aligned. I actually may do another one because it looks like I have some room here. So you know what, let's add another one in. I could always remove it later on. Cabinet 4 drawers. Let's do another one. Why not? There we go. Okay, so that gives me a good counter space to work with right there. I'm then going to put a countertop in. So my window is so I have my stove will most likely go around here, refrigerator there, sink right over here. So let's go to countertops. Actually, you know what? I'm going to bring in the stove and the refrigerator now, so I can make sure that there's any adjustments need to be made. Like I actually may move that door over, just makes life easier. Component, load family, and now we're going to look for specialty items. So specialty items, specialty equipment, domestic, and I'm just going to go mid-range, and I'm going to look for what I want. So I got refrigerator here with the French doors and ice maker. I'll click that, and I'm going to do an electric stove right there. I don't have to worry about any gas lines or anything like that. Open. So French door refrigerator. So now over here, if I put it in there, I'm going to have a problem with that closet. So I may end up removing one of those little base cabinets, but then it's kind of tight. So we'll see for now. I'm just going to put it in there, see what my original idea was. Yeah, my original idea was to have one here. So let's zoom in, keep it a little bit off the wall, escape. Remember, you want to keep that work triangle about, I can move this back slightly, but you can see I have some hookups there, and I'm going to move it over so it's pretty close. That's the refrigerator. This closet door is for, I believe, it's just a utility room. So I could change the layout of this a little bit, which I may end up doing. I may close off the wall completely, and I don't know, figure it out from there. I may switch it to a double door. Now let's get the stove in. Component. So now we have, actually I can go with the smaller refrigerator, which I may end up doing. Let's go to a 30-inch stove, so it's relatively small. And that actually fits in pretty good. Keep it up against that counter, away from a little bit, so we can do our electric hookups. I can always move it in a little bit and over, something like that. So range, I'm going to take this whole door, I'm going to move it down a little bit so I got a little more space. I could take the stove and put it over here if I wanted to. That's probably not a bad idea. It would probably save me a little bit of space. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap out this refrigerator with the smaller 33-inch one. And it gives me a little bit more room. Okay, so now we can go to the 3D view and take a look at our kitchen. So there's my little kitchen right there, a couple of drawers. Okay, so now we're going to do our countertop. And this could be a little tricky depending on what you want. So we go into component, load family. It's under casework, countertops, and I need the L-shaped countertop. This one right here allows for the base cabinet. You can see here the way it's cut out. If I didn't have that corner base cabinet, I could use something like this. And click open. Now you can see that with the problem is that no matter what I do, that the sink location is not in the right place. Keep going, so no matter how many times I turn it. But I can mirror this. So I'm going to go over here. Click on it, hit escape. Then I'm going to go to annotate, structure, systems. I'm looking for mirror. So if I click on this, I have mirror right up here. So I'm going to click, pick axis, and now I mirrored it. Hit escape, delete the original one. And now I can drag this one over. The sink is still not in the best spot it should be in, but I could work with that. I click on it. All right, so I'm going to then go to align. I'm going to get this all squared away, that with the back of that. Lock it in, the back here with the back there, lock that. Okay, now it's a matter of adjusting the length of this. So I can see that the leg openings here, I can adjust. So I need the distance. Cancel. I tried moving it by accident. So if we click on the countertop and I go to length of leg 1, which is the longer leg. Sorry, all of this moving around. And I change that to 6 feet. Enter and apply. You can see how it brought it down. So what I'm going to do is, I know that 6 feet is too small, so let's go to the tool here. So it's 6 feet 8 inches to there. So if I go back to this, click on it, and try 6 feet 8 inches, and apply. Now it's a little bit longer. So I need to go slightly more. So let's go 6 feet 9 inches. Now that came right to the edge because I measured from the back there. So now I'm going to do the same from here. Where I'm measuring from, where I want to measure from, is right here to what I want. So I'm going to measure right to the bottom of the base cabinet right here. I could measure the refrigerator too, but I'm going to do the base cabinet. So 5 foot and a quarter. So I'm going to do is I'm going to type that in. So cancel. Click on this. 5 foot, 5.25 inches. Apply. And now that cabinet is lined up. You can see I need to add another inch again. So let's add 1 more inch. It's just getting me there. And now my countertop is in. I need to change the sink location. Is 3 feet 3 inches. So if I measure, it's measuring from here to the center line of the sink, which I don't know if it's going to come up. That's 5 foot 4 and a quarter. Let's try again, a different measurement. It's 3 feet 2 and a quarter. All right, so we know we're going to have to move this over. So if I go 3 foot, let's just try 8. Notice it moved it over. It actually looks like it's in a pretty good, relatively good spot. What we're going to do, let's just measure, see where that measurement came from. So it's 3 foot 7 and a quarter. So it's measuring to some slight opening there. I think that's probably in a good spot. You could probably try centering it a little bit better based on where you can see where they're getting the measurements from. But now, that looks pretty good to me. Let's take a look at it from 3D view. There we go. That's pretty good. I'll take it. So I got refrigerator here, stove there, sink there. We do run into a little bit of an issue with this molding. We can adjust that, which we could do in a little bit. But now I want to get a sink in. So let's go back to the ground floor view. And let's go to architecture, component, load family. And now we're going to go to plumbing, architectural, fixtures, and we're looking for sinks. And I just have a regular kitchen sink, single, open, and space bar changes direction, and that pretty much lines it right up. Escape. Let's go to 3D view. Now I have a sink in. That's it. Easy as that. Let's adjust this window. So the window, you can see I have a sill height of 3 feet on that. I'm going to change it to 3 feet 4 inches. Let's see how that looks. So that brings it up a little bit more. It's still in the way. Let's try 3 feet 6 inches. And that looks better. Looks like there might be a very slight overlap, but I'll take that 3 feet 6 inches, which then I can go in, and if we want, we can look at it from the outside and see how the window changed. It might have went up from a little bit. So let's take a look at that. I'm going to bring this section box up. Look at that. Yeah, so you can see the window height is off now. So what I might do is to go, that's a 3852. I'm going to go and change it to something shorter. I'm going to go like maybe a 3052. A 30 like 46. That's the biggest I can get. So let's go that route. So now it's a little bit smaller. It's not so high up. It's for the window. And let's go to the section box. Let's see how that looks on the inside. Yeah, so I still got a window there. It's a little bit better off. It's not going to be so high up. These are things you just have to take a look at. But otherwise, that's pretty much how we do those part of the kitchen cabinets. Now, we need to do the cabinets up on top. And we're going to kind of go about those somewhat similar. So let's bring that up. just enough so I can see it. There we go. So now I can see inside pretty good. I'm going to go to my ground floor plan again. And these cabinets, I don't know if I brought them in. Let's take a look. Architecture, component. Now these are all just base cabinets that I have here, base cabinets. So architecture, component, load family. Oh, hit escape, something selected. So component, load family, casework. These are so wall cabinets, that's what we want now. And these are all upper cabinets. Upper cabinet door glass. I'm just going to do with double doors. Click that. That's a filler strip. I'm going to bring that in. This is a single door glass. And I'll bring in the single door too. And then we also have an upper corner tall one. And this is a regular corner one. Let's select those in. I'm going to hit open. Now how these go in, so obviously we're not going to have one over the sink. We're not going to have one, but we could have some right over here. I could probably put in a corner one as well. So when we go into these component, there we go. So notice it brings them in. So I will do, these are 15-inch down there, so I'm going to stick with that. Let's see, so 15-inch, click, goes onto the back wall. So that's 1, 2. I'm going to put in the upper cabinet double door. There we go, that's under cabinet. I'm looking for my upper corner one. Base. There's the upper cabinet one right here. Click that in. There we go. And it actually looks like I could probably get one over if I wanted to. So that's upper wall 15. Whoop. Changed it by accident. So component. Upper cabinet. That's a double door. You know what? Let's bring in a double door one. Oh, I'm going to do that. I'll bring in the double door over to here. And I'm going to delete that one smaller one. And what I'll do is I'll align those two. So I'm going to keep this one in place. Click this, align that, and then I'll put in a filler strip. So we go architecture, component, and then we're going to see an upper filler. I'm going to click this, put it on the back wall. Now what you'll notice is that the filler strip is slightly too big. I can do the align tool, line it there with that lock, and this with that lock. So now let's just take a look at what we have here. It looks like we might have some slight issue that we got to fix. There you go, filler, cabinet, and that's pretty much in. It looks relatively good. We could look at it from a couple different views. So there, you could actually probably put one over the whatchamacallit, the refrigerator if you wanted to. And I'm gonna put a vent in over the stove. Okay, so let's get that vent over. So architecture, component. Let's save it. Okay, we're all saved. Load family. I believe this is also under specialty equipment. domestic, mid-range. And let's see, we have the cooktops. They're not there. High end. Yeah, so these are the hoods that can go over the top for venting. I'm going to put that in. Open. So now with this, let's go to the ground floor view. So you can see when I'm trying to place this, it doesn't look like it's going anywhere. Ground floor view. And let's go back to that component, that hood. So you can see it wants to go here. I can flip it, change it from a 36-inch, is that all I have, to a 30-inch to match the stove. And when I click escape, so it's there. Let's go take a look at it. And we can see it's on the floor. So I'm going to click on it again. We can change the offset to like 6 feet. So now it's up off of that. It's a little high. I believe 5 feet should be good. So 5 feet, apply. And now there's that. We have a couple dimensions like the chase height. So let's go take a look and see if everything works out. If it goes up through the roof, that's a problem. But if it goes up into the ceiling, that is not a problem. That's where it's going to be going. Yeah, so there's 0 issues there I'm seeing. Like that. And there you have it. So there's a small kitchen with base cabinets and also your upper cabinets. That's pretty much about it for kitchens. You can kind of go any way. That's just a real basic one. You can look at these from section views as well and do them. But that's pretty much it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.